Hey guys, it's been a while. Hasn't really been a whole lot going on up until this week, so it's been a while, but I'm back. It's March 5th today. Hi, can I help you? Hi, I'm filming, bitch. Move. Move. No, I don't want to scratch you right now. Move. Liana wants love, like right now. Fine, I'll scratch you. It's the 5th of March today. And yesterday, or she's shedding like a motherfucker. Yesterday marked 10 years since I was raped. So I dealt with it okay for most of the day. Then around about 2:30, downhill. Like, my husband came home last night, I'm just laying on the big comfy chair, like, moving, hurt. But he did end up making exactly what I wanted for dinner, so that kind of perked me up a little bit. He turned on Young Frankenstein for me, which is literally, like, my favorite Mel Brooks movie. Like, he's very attentive when I'm very depressed, so I'm grateful for that, for him. Understanding that, you know, knows what day it is, you know, the heart hits me. I don't know why it hits me so hard 10 years later, but, you know, I was never able to do anything about it. So, that, in and of itself yesterday, was fucking, I had nightmares all last night. I slept pretty okay for once. But, you know, I had to take a Xanax before I went to bed, which I'm really tired of doing. I only woke up, I think, twice, and that's a good night for me. And even then, I dozed off last night before I actually went to sleep completely, and was doing the whole having a nightmare, doing this kind of thing, and he comes and he tries to wake me up, but when I get woken up suddenly, I wake up like with a fist out. I grabbed his arm this time, but I wake up with a fist out going, okay, what's going on? And he's like, it's just me, it's just me, it's just me. Okay, and if I'm completely out of it for a minute, he'll ask me what day it is, and if I answer him, he knows I'm awake. But it was, like I said, it was an okay day up until about 2:30. Because I had gone, you know what, it was when I came home. I've been fighting, really, she's out there barking at the neighbor's dogs. I'd been fighting back and back, you know, ran around back and forth with different colleges. I'm looking at a JC up here. I'm looking at one down in Cucamonga. I'm trying to compare the two. What classes will transfer over to school so I can finish my bachelor's. And it's been a process. Like, I can't get a hold of somebody that can actually sit down with me at, you know, the school I want to finish at, to go over with me, okay, yeah, I have a list of, you know, these classes for there, but you take them at the JC and they'll transfer over. But all the core classes, I know some of them I can take at the JC and they'll transfer. I need somebody to, they've revised their list. They went from like 10 classes, like 15 now, so I don't even shit how many classes there are. I'm starting at the JC and doing as much as I can there, because it's cheaper. So aside from that, you know, I went down to do the assessment test that they make you do at the JC, but I only needed the math part because I've taken the English. Down there, I only need one math class, and that's a really good thing for me. Up here, they want me to take, okay, well, you need this one, and then this one before you can take this one, and that's what transfers. I'm like, fuck that shit. So I think I'm gonna do that down in Cucamonga. The college down there treats you better. You don't walk in the counseling office like feeling the stress. I get that headache right here where it's just like this is just an ugly feeling, and they act like you're an inconvenience. But you go down there and they don't. And I even explained that to the lady. She's like, no, And I have a neighbor I'm friends with. It's like, you need to go down here, you check this out, because I know you hate it up here and this and that. So I have, and I think I'm gonna stay down there. Do as much online as I possibly can, so I'm not relying on my in-laws to take care of Kendra after school. Because number one, I'm a mom. That's my thing. I've been the stay-at-home mom, minus that 6 weeks I was at that chiropractor place, which is really fun. I just left a review on their, I just looked them up on Google, and you leave a review on the page. And I said, yeah, they're great to patients, but they treat their employees like shit. And I'm waiting, because they respond to everyone. I'm waiting for that response. It'd be like, oh, what if this and that? And I'm going to get into it. But I was, those 6 weeks I was there was the only time I was not at home all the time with Kendra. So first priority is obviously she needs to be taken care of. Yeah, she's in school all day, but then after that, I can't be running down the hill to go take classes and relying it. They don't have a single problem with it. I've talked to my father-in-law. He's like, you know what? That's what we're here for. We love having her over here. And I'm like, Dad, physically you can't do a lot anymore. Mom can't do shit physically because she's, unless it's a certain time after she takes her pain meds and that she's got like a window. I'm not going to just rely on, hey, I finally want to go back to school. And, basically pawn my child off on my in-laws, even though I've talked to her about it. It's like, well, Mommy, if you need to actually go to the school and take a class, I'll go down to Nana's. I'll be fine there. It's like, I understand that, but I don't want to have to. It's like I feel like I'm putting myself ahead of her, and that I'll be damned if I do that. First and foremost, I'm a mom. That is my job. Now, if stay-at-home moms ever got paid for it, that would be fucking phenomenal. But no. I'm not going to start on that one. It just feels like I'm so down on myself all the time. It's like, okay, well, I don't need to do this because it benefits strictly me, and that's not worth it because, I don't deserve this, or I don't need to do that. And I've done that a few times. I've missed a couple semesters just because, actually I did summer last year was the last semester I did. And even then I was in the class for like a week or two, and it was I think it was an English class. And why the fuck do you need a set of Legos for an English class? And the way he wrote his rubric was so convoluted. And English is one of my strong suits. And even then, the way he wrote it, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I ended up dropping it. So I didn't even really take a class then. It was the last time I was enrolled in something. But it's, unless I can take it online, it's, how am I gonna, okay, well, Kendra, you need to go over here because I need to go do this. Unless it's like work, which there's literally a piece of paper sitting under the phone I'm filming on right now with a couple of massage places up here because I'm a therapist to call and be like, hey, do you need a therapist? Hey, do you need a therapist? Hey, do you need a therapist? I'm not ever going to walk into the place I worked again. That bridge was purposely like, I was dousing gasoline on the way out, flicked the match, light it. I don't have a plan on trying to burn that bridge so hard. There's a couple more places up here, reputable places, because other than that, you get them little hole in the walls where people are like, oh, do you offer a happy ending? If I ever get a person on my table, try that shit. I carry a knife on me, so it'll be, in my back pockets. But unless I'm in an office somewhere, obviously that's a different story, because then you can just be like, flip this, pull the sheet, pull the sheet up, be like, get off my table, and they get to go deal with management. If I'm going mobile, like, I've been trying to do, and get somebody and they're like, oh, I want to get touchy-feely. I'll have a knife in my pocket, just flick it out, get off. But you get paid first. That way they're losing, 70, 80 bucks, how much I'm going to have. I haven't truly decided on how much I'm going to charge yet because I've upped it from 60 because it's not worth my driving time. It's protect yourself. I'm female. You're going to some random person and if you're not after legitimate, you can get the fuck off my table. And it will get ugly from there. But, back to Kendra, I can't justify to myself, going and doing something to benefit me when... I know when she gets home, she's up in the little room up there, she's playing and stuff, and all that. That's, she ignores me, basically. But the fact is, I'm here for her. And yes, a couple of friends I've talked to. And then Jeffrey, it's like, oh, well, you're using that as an excuse. She's 8 years old. She can just go to mom's. It's like, you're not comprehending how I come to this point mentally. You're not comprehending how this makes me feel and how I can't justify doing it. I can't really describe it right now, but that and the severe anxiety I have, the last, the chiropractor that I was at, every job I've had, aside from there, including there, but aside from there, and even in high school, sit down, show up, do what you're told, keep your mouth shut, be as professional as you can, and still get shit from the bosses. It's... What did he say yesterday? Jeffrey, I got into it with him Friday. Like, not yelling at him, but yelling to him. Because I'm naturally very loud. And then I was irritated, and this was mostly about school. And he said something about I have an abrasive personality or something. And he used the thing, you gotta know me to love me. Because you meet my best friend, the one I call my wife. When we met working at the craft store, she thought I was legitimately insane and just a complete and total bitch when we first met. Got to know each other. Now I call her my wife. Well, that's something completely different. Can I help you, Flynn? Go away. Damn dog's invasive. But he's, abrasive personality. So he goes, maybe it's just you, They don't like your attitude. It's like, what attitude? I don't fucking say anything. So it makes it, I guess, difficult for some situations, I don't know. I just lost my train of thought on that one. Fuck it, I don't remember. But that's what it was. The anxiety going out and being around people all the time, trying to be. I can go contrary to what he wants to believe. I can go out and I am not like this at work. He kind of doesn't want to believe me. But no, I am the exact opposite of how I am at home. And I'm like, you don't see me how I am at work. You see me how I am at home. And I'm like you at work, which he is just the exact opposite attitude that I am. You do what you're supposed to. If you have a problem, you try to deal with it diplomatically and all that. I don't do that at home. I do that out there because I kind of don't want to get fired. After this last place, though, I'm not putting up with anybody's shit if I have a problem. So be like, hey, problem. Nicely. Do it nicely. This is going to be, hey, problem. So in a nutshell, basically, with what yesterday was, and then the school thing has been a lot of stress, and I haven't even started taking classes yet. Taking the classes isn't even the stressful part. It's just trying to get into where I need to be. It's like, you're a student going into the counseling office at a JC for the first time. It's like, yeah, well, I'm going to get my general ed out of the way, but I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet. Not all the time. Sometimes kids, people are like that. I walk in, I have a plan, I have classes listed, class by class, and comparative to where I want to end up, for both JCs. And it's like, you tell somebody in the counseling office that, and they're like, oh, well, you should, for your associates. It's like, bitch, I don't even want an associates. I don't care. You're going to make me take a few classes that are not worth my time, my money, and have nothing to do with what will transfer over here. I just want what I need, what will transfer, and that's all I want from you. I told that to the lady yesterday, and she finally understood. So, lately, there's been a hell of a lot of stress. I've been exhausted pretty much daily from not sleeping. I mean, you can see it on my face, but all this under here, that's, mascara and eyeliner from yesterday. My husband calls this my Alice Cooper, but when I get out of the shower, I'll purposely do this and run it down my face because, Alice Cooper. Because dude's awesome. I've been exhausted a lot. I've been depressed a lot. This morning, I can feel the anxiety manifesting as a stabby feeling. And Jeffrey explained to me the other day while we were hollering, like he wasn't yelling back, but I was yelling at him, like with all the school, yelling at him, not at him, to him, because venting kind of thing. And he mentioned, this is what a manic episode is. You're manic right now. I'm like, wait, this is manic? Because I thought I was just angry. I have never, in my 32 years, hold up now, I have to math, 6 years of being diagnosed bipolar, because it's only been 6 years I've known. So my stepmother tried to help me get diagnosed with fucking doctors back then when I was 12. So it's been 20 years I've had this problem, and I just found out about it 6 years ago. I knew I was depressed. I didn't know what anxiety was back then. I didn't know what anxiety was when I met my husband. He was the one, when I met him, eventually he was the one, like he had to pull over one time taking me home because I thought I was going to be physically ill, and we all know how I'm deathly afraid of that. I'll loop back around to that as to tomorrow and Kendra's field trip. And I had to pace the field there because I thought I was going to be physically ill. Turns out that I didn't know. Panic attack. I didn't fucking know this. I was 18 years old. And it took until, year ago? Give or take a few months, that I finally had my doctor. I really, really love my MD. He's fucking awesome. And, explaining to him, okay, well, honestly, I've been taking my mother-in-law's because I don't have my own. And he's like, well, here's a script for your own. You need it. I'm like, I know people come in and they're like, oh, I have anxiety, I need Xanax. And they're just using it either to sell it or to get high. I don't understand how you get high on Xanax. I honestly don't. Because usually they prescribe like a 0.5 milligram. I'm on a whole one 3 times a fucking day. If I need it. I don't take it every day, but if I need it, it's prescribed for 3 times a day. I don't understand how people can go out and get high off of this. I function perfectly fine. But, it took until then was it the year and a few months to even get my own medication for the anxiety I've been having since I was 12. Took till I was 28 to get diagnosed bipolar since I was 12. So, he was describing the other day, this is, you're manic right now. This is a manic episode. I never could figure it out. I never knew when I was manic. It was usually, okay, well, I'm in a good mood. I thought I was in a good mood. Maybe I'm just productive. Maybe I'm just, the anxiety's got me really irritated. Turns out, that was a fucking manic episode. Here I am, 32 years old. Now I know. And I had to get it from my husband. I mean, yeah, and I kind of rubbed it in. Okay, he minored in psychology in college, but he likes to try and use it on me in a loving manner. But I throw it back at him. It's okay, Mr. Psychology minor. If you were a psychologist, I wouldn't be seeing him for therapy. If you were a psychologist, I wouldn't need a therapist. I'd have you. I wouldn't be. That's like conflict of interest kind of thing. So I got a therapist for that. I don't need you to be psychoanalyzing me. So I didn't find out what a manic episode was until he fucking told me. Sorry, I'm fucking exhausted. But lately, the other shit. Kendra's field trip. Tomorrow, they're going down to Santa Ana to the Discovery Center. And last time we were there as a family, we ended up later on, so we were there on a... Sorry, I got a fucking phone call in the middle of filming. Cuts you right off. Now I have to edit, which I never do. And it's always numbers that I don't know, or it's some automated bullshit, or it's some little, hi, I'm calling you from our business center or some shit. It's like, all right, well, what the fuck's your business center? I've actually asked them, what the fuck's your business center? They don't ever answer you. So, sorry, random phone call. So anyway, they're going down to the Science Center. Last time we were down there, later on that week, because we were down at my parents' house for the weekend, later on that week, all three of us ended up with the stomach flu. Now, I've explained previously, I just realized I was making a point staring down here, and I'm supposed to be staring up here at the camera, and I never do, because, I don't know why. We all ended up with the stomach flu. And if you've watched one of my previous videos, I briefly touched on, I don't know, I haven't gone back and watched my own videos. I hate listening to myself talk. How my emetophobia, which still, if you don't know what it is, for real, go look it up, and it is severe. And, I literally was traumatized, like, per my therapist, traumatized by that. So my whole germophobia and keeping my house clean and harping on them to, did you wash your hands? Was the water warm? Did you count to at least 20? Because, CDC in 20 seconds, all that. Ever since then, it has gotten so much worse. Drives Jeffrey fucking insane. But you know what? It trauma. Look up trauma. Dictionary. Trauma. Just add to the PTSD I got, because you ask my therapist, that just adds to that. Open the little filing cabinet. What's wrong with Charlotte? Depression, bipolar, anxiety, PTSD. Put that in there. It's a folder. And because she's going down there tomorrow, I told her why I wasn't going on a field trip. Because myself and another mom in the classroom, we are the go-to parents for her teacher. And it was, okay, so we're going on a field trip. This was a conversation with her teacher. Back and forth with the little classroom texty thing. It just popped up on my phone here, reminding tomorrow's field trip. She had back and forth with me, hey, would you be able to go to, on the field trip on the 6th? And I'm like, all right, where are we going? She goes, we're going to the Discovery Center. And I knew instantly what she was talking about. Instantaneously. I know where we're going, but I played stupid. I said, I didn't know we had a Discovery Center up here. She goes, no, we'll be in the bus for about an hour and a half. I'm like, Santa Ana off the 5. She goes, yeah, because she knows I'm from down there. And I'm like, see, what happened? And I explained, some of my mental health issues with her teacher. Because, she's a well-educated woman. Obviously, she's a teacher. And we get along very well. And apparently my daughter is a lot like her daughter. There's a whole, we got a back and forth. She's my husband's age. So she's not old by any chance, by any extent. She's still young. We get to talking a lot. I've explained some things and why, some days I can't come in and help because it's a really bad anxiety day, and that's the energy you don't want around 7 and 8-year-olds. And she's like, I understand, stay home, take care of yourself. So I explained to her, okay, see, here's the thing with that place and what happened after, and I associate that with this, even though looking at it logically, with everything I know, because I am the research fucking queen, especially if it gives me anxiety about it, the time window of being exposed to it versus actually symptoms yourself is a very short window. Like, it is extremely... What are you doing outside? Oh, they're playing. Sorry. The dogs are playing. It is an extremely short time window between being exposed to it and having symptoms yourself. But, it was... So we were there the weekend. It skipped a day between me and Jeffrey. He got sick on a Sunday, so mine was a Friday, hers was a Thursday. So you have basically from the Saturday beforehand to the following Thursday. That's more than enough time. But when we came home, my sister-in-law's brother was up hanging out with her and my brother because they lived with us still, and that was like the old house a few years ago. I mean, this was... Kendra was, 3 at that time? If not 4? No, this wasn't TK. She was 3 years old. And, we didn't have problems until a couple days after we came home. Which says to me, maybe it was already at home, maybe because he got sick at my house. So that's the only thing I can think of. But I still explained to Kendra's teacher, okay, here's what happened here. And she knows I have all these problems. And she knows I'm deathly afraid of that because I've explained. And how, somebody mentioned it was going around at school and Kendra came home freaking the fuck out. So I text, her teacher. I'm like, okay, just so you know, somebody said this and Kendra's freaking the fuck out. So what's going on? And she understands that Kendra's just as scared of it as I am. Because that's entirely my fault. And she's very sympathetic towards stuff. She understands things. So I told her, I can try to go. And I can, and I had actually seen my therapist later that same day that she asked me, I think. If not the day after. I told her, I said, with associating this with this, I think it was, this time, not earlier, like when we were there. I think it was when we got home. And I said, I could try to go. And, I had my therapist go, if you can work it out with yourself and be rational, bring your Xanax. It's like, duh, I travel with it. There's a bottle in my purse. I carry it with me because in case I'm out somewhere. And I said, I'll let you know when I come and see you next, because I see her today, and the field trip's tomorrow. I said, I see you the day before, and I'll let you know, my decision. But in telling Kendra's teacher, here's what's going on, she's like, that's fine, I'll find another mom. And I'm like, I can try to go, I think I can handle it. And she goes, don't push yourself. Don't put that stress on yourself. I'll find somebody else's mom. So she did. So there's, the one other go-to mom and then another kid's mom going tomorrow. And I explained to Kendra, I said, you're going here, but I can't go. So, well, mommy, why won't you go? You like going on my field trips with me. Why won't you go? And I explained it to her. And I said, and she got all scared. And I said, I told her where we got it from instead of I think. No, I didn't. I explained it to her. I am completely rational with this child. I don't sugarcoat shit. She's entirely too smart for that. Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, we still do that. But I explained to her, okay, so here's why I got scared and this and that and the other thing, but I think because time-wise between it was, it wasn't there. It was after we got home because of this and that. And she goes, oh, okay. But it still scares you because you think the two are related? And I went, yeah. And she goes, okay. Well, what did my teacher say? And so she said not to worry about it and she'll get somebody else's mom. She goes, okay. So don't worry about it. And I'll be fine. She's 8 years old. She's more rational than I am. Go figure, right? So that's that, basically. That's been how things are. Hey, let's just suddenly change subject. That's how things have been lately. Fucking dog. Liana! She don't listen anymore. Liana! Komm sich schnell! And then you gotta get the really authoritative voice out. In the German. Hey! Bitte kommen Sie, Scheißerkumpf! Liana! Kommen Sie! Nein, kommen Sie! You are a butthead. Training the dog in German. Hey, don't lick me. She's a German dog. Why not? I love the language. I'm trying to learn the language. I'm learning more and more. But yelling at the dog is the most I use it because nobody else uses it. So, in a nutshell, yesterday being what it was, field trip, anxiety, not sleeping. And then I need to, bring myself back up, in school. Bring myself back up, if you will. Flynn, why are you licking my toes? That feels weird. Because Thursday is Jeffrey's birthday. So I can't just be sitting around moping, severely depressed for my husband's birthday. That's not fair to him. So that's life lately. Sorry it's not as eventful as... Actually, it's probably more eventful than it has been. I don't know. I never go back and watch my own videos just because I am so down on myself. I hate listening to my own voice. I hate watching my own mannerisms. I hate looking in the mirror half the time. Unless I absolutely have to. Put on makeup the once, in a blue moon that I actually wear it. If I need to actually pay attention when I'm doing my hair, that's if I brush it that day. You kind of can't help avoid looking in the mirror while you're brushing your teeth. I have no self-esteem. I hate myself. But, all that being said, I've made, no eye contact again, but, hate looking at myself kind of thing. So, I hope you guys are doing a lot better than I am, and I'll see you next time.